Most people don't fail at budgeting because they are bad at math. They fail because they build budgets they secretly hate. And if you hate your budget, you will break your budget. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to build a budget that actually works in 2026. Not a restrictive spreadsheet, not a gift system, not something that collapses in 2 months. A realistic, flexible, automated system designed around your life. Let's jump straight in. Before we create the budget, let's see why most budget fails. Here's what research shows. According to NerdWallet, 74% of Americans say they have a budget, yet more than 80% admit to overspending. You know what that means? People don't have a math problem. They have a behavioral problem. Here are 4 reasons budget fail. They're too restrictive, they ignore irregular expenses, they rely on motivation, they don't match real income. Guys, motivation fades, but systems sustain. Let's be honest, 2026 is not 2015. Housing costs are higher, food prices shifted, insurance premium climbed. The classic 50-30-20 rule worked beautifully in certain economic periods, but many households today need flexibility. So instead of rigid percentages, we build adaptive structure because structure beats strictness. To create a budget that actually works, here are the steps. Step 1. Start with your why. Money without purpose disappears. Before we talk numbers, answer this. What are you building? What are you protecting? What are you escaping? Maybe it's emergency security, debt freedom, investment, a home, peace. Write it down. Because when spending tempts you, your why stabilizes you. Step number 2, know your real income. Budget off net income. If you earn $5,000 gross but bring in $3,650, your budget should be built on $3,650. If your income fluctuates, use the lowest month of the last 6 months and create an income buffer category. An income buffer category, it's a small cushion inside your budget that protects you when your income fluctuates. It's not emergency fund. It's not sinking funds. And it's not saving. It's specifically for income instability. With this category in place, slow months doesn't feel like emergencies. Step 3, track spending like a detective. You cannot manage what you refuse to measure. And most people are not bad with money. They're just unaware of where it's actually going. Research consistently shows that people underestimate variable spending, especially food and small discretionary purchases like groceries, eating out, subscriptions, impulse buys. They don't feel big, but they compound quietly. According to the Federal Reserve, roughly 37% of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 emergency without borrowing. That is not always an income crisis. Often, it's a visibility problem. When money feels tight, but you can't explain why, that's a tracking issue. Clarity reduces anxiety. When you don't know your numbers, your brain fills in the worst case scenarios. Tracking replaces fear with facts. Tracking is not about judgment. It's about diagnosis. You're now becoming a financial detective and you're looking for patterns, looks, habits, and triggers. Not guilt, but data. So for the next 30 days, track everything. And I mean everything. Coffee, parking, subscriptions, late night Amazon. Choose your method. Spreadsheets, budget app, notebook, envelope system. The envelope system really works great because it actually changes behavior. When you physically see money leaving a category, you naturally slow down. So at the end of those 30 days, you won't just feel broke. You will know exactly why. And once you know, now you're powerful. Because awareness is step one, structure is step two. And that's where we're going next. If you're committing to track for the next 30 days, comment track below. Make it public. Once you've tracked your spending for 30 days, you will notice something. You don't actually have a budget problem. You have a structure problem. The tracking shows you the truth, but structure tells the truth what to do next. Listen, data without direction is just information. So now that you have clarity, let's build the container that holds it. Step 4, choose a flexible framework. Structure, not handcuffs. Earlier, I said something important. 2026 isn't 2015. Costs are different. Housing is different. Insurance is different. So, if someone tells you your needs must be exactly 50%, that might not reflect your reality. Budgets are not supposed to be rigid. They're supposed to be responsive. So, instead of chasing perfect percentages, choose a flexible framework. Structure, not handcuffs. Here are options to start with. Option 1, the 50-30-20 rule. This framework, popularized in All Your Worth, suggests 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. In 2026, this may not fit perfectly. Maybe your needs are 60%, maybe they're 65%. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you adjust. Use this as a compass, not a cage. Option 2, 60-30-10 rule. For many households today, 60% needs, 30% lifestyle, 10% wealth building. This feels more realistic in higher cost areas. Again, it's a reference point, not a rule book. Option 3, zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting simply means every dollar gets assigned a job. Not because we're strict, but because unassigned money disappears. This system works incredibly well in 2026 because income and expenses fluctuate. It adapts easily and it pairs beautifully with automation. Option 4, pay yourself first. This one is simple. Savings first, living expense second. You automate wealth building before lifestyle spending expands. This protects long-term growth, even when inflation pressures increases. Here's the key. In 2026, budgeting isn't about perfect percentages. It's about predictable control. If your housing is 62% right now, That's not shame. That's data. And data gives you power. Economic conditions shift. Your budget should shift too. Budget that evolves survive. Budget that pretends the world hasn't changed break. So, choose a structure that reflects your real number, not someone else's number. Now, here is where most people mess this up. They choose a framework, they assign percentages, they feel organized, and then 3 months later, the budget explodes. Not because the system was bad, but because something was missing. And what's missing? The expenses that don't show up every month, which leads us to step 5, the missing piece, which is the sinking funds. Now, here is where most budgets collapse. Not in the math, not in the percentage, but in the months that don't look normal. You build your framework, you assign your dollars, everything looks clean, and then life shows up. Car repairs, holiday season, back to school costs, medical bills, and suddenly the budget failed. But the budget didn't fail. It just wasn't prepared for real life. Monthly budget failed because life doesn't happen monthly. Here's what most people do. An irregular expense hits. They swipe a credit card. They promise to fix the next month. The next month, something else hits. And now the budget feels broken. That cycle creates financial anxiety. Not because you're irresponsible, but because your system isn't built for irregularity. This is where sinking funds change everything. A sinking fund is money you set aside for expenses you know are coming, not just this month. It's not an emergency fund, it's a predictability fund. Emergency fund is for unexpected disaster, while sinking fund is for expected inconvenience. Both are protection, but they protect different things. The emergency fund protects survivor. Sinking funds protect stability. Let's make this real. Your car averages $1,200 per year in maintenance. Instead of panicking when repairs happen, you divide it by 12. That's $100 per month. You build a car maintenance sinking fund. Now, when the repair happens, you don't feel attacked, you feel prepared. That psychological shift is powerful. Here's what most people forget to include: car repairs, home maintenance, medical deductible, holidays, birthdays, annual subscriptions, insurance renewals, travel, technology replacement. Financial education platforms like Investopedia consistently emphasize planning for irregular expenses has a key difference between stable households and financially stressed ones. It's not about income alone, it's about anticipation. When irregular expenses are funded, your monthly budget stops exploding. Stress drops, confidence rises, consistency increases. You stop feeling behind, you start feeling in control. When you fund what is predictable, you eliminate most financial chaos, and budgeting stops feeling like survivor. It starts feeling strategic. Step 6, automate. Now that your system is built for real life, there's one more upgrade that separates people who try to budget from people who actually build wealth: automation. Automation removes emotion, and emotion is where most financial mistake happens. Impulse, fear, overconfidence, procrastination. When money decisions rely on willpower, they eventually fail. Not because you're weak, because you're human. Discipline is good. Automation is better. Discipline requires energy. Automations require setup. One drains you monthly, the other protects you automatically. Here is what should run without your mood being involved. Automatic savings transfers, automatic retirement contribution, automatic investment deposits, automatic bill pay, automatic sinking funds transfers. If it's predictable, it should be automated. Imagine this. Every time you get paid, money quietly moves into savings, into investing, into sinking funds before you even see it. Now, your lifestyle adjusts to what's left. That's powerful because lifestyle expands to feel available cash. Automation protects your future from your present self. High earners don't win because they make more money. They win because the system runs without them. If your financial life requires constant decision making, you will burn out. Automation builds consistency, and consistency builds wealth. You should not have to decide to save every month. It should happen whether you feel like it or not. Step 7. Eliminate debt strategically. Now that your system is automated, there's one thing that can quietly sabotage everything we've built: high interest debt. Because no matter how well you budget, if 18%, 22%, even 29% interest is compounding against you, you're building uphill. Let's be clear. Debt doesn't mean you're irresponsible. It often means you didn't have a system yet. Now you do. So attack it strategically. There are two primary approaches, and this is where people argue. But here's the truth. The best strategy is the one you will actually stick to. The first one, debt snowball, which is paying off the smallest balance first, not the highest interest, the smallest. Why? Because momentum builds motivation. You eliminate one account, then another, then another. Each win reinforces behavior, and behavior drives consistency. The second one is debt avalanche. This is mathematically optimal. You attack the highest interest rate first. This minimizes total interest paid over time. Pure math says this saves you more money, and mathematically, that is true. But here's what matters more than math: consistency. Behavioral finance research shows that quick wins increase long-term follow-through. If seeing accounts disappear motivates you, snowball may outperform an avalanche for you. But if you're highly disciplined and number-driven, avalanche may be ideal. Psychology beats math long-term, because a perfect plan you quit is worse than a slightly imperfect plan you finish. Whatever strategy you choose, keep minimum payment on everything. Throw every extra dollar at one target, and don't split focus. Focus intensity, accelerate progress. Scattered efforts slows it. Imagine this: no minimum payments, no interest charges, no anxiety when the bill arrives. That's not just financial relief, that's mental freedom. And once debt is eliminated, every dollar you were sending to creditors gets directed to investing. Now, wealth compounds forward, not backward. Debt elimination isn't about punishments, it's about reclaiming control. And once control is reclaimed, everything accelerates. Step 8: the monthly CEO meeting. Now, here's a habit that turns budgeting from a short term effort into a long term system. The monthly CEO meeting. Not a money date, not a panic session, a CEO meeting. Because whether you realize it or not, you are the CEO of a financial life. And CEOs review performance. They don't guess, they don't avoid, they don't react emotionally, they evaluate, they adjust, and they lead. Once a month, 30 minutes, same time, no distractions. Sit down with your numbers and ask yourself these questions. What worked this month? What didn't? Where did emotion influence spending? Was it stress, celebration, boredom, fatigue? Don't judge. Diagnose it. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for patterns, because patterns create results and results compound. Businesses that review finances regularly stay solvent. Households that review finances regularly stay stable. This is not optional if you want control. Budgets that evolve survive. Rigid budgets break. If groceries increase, adjust. If income change, adapt. If something surprises you, build protection around it next month. That's leadership. Financially confident people don't ignore reality. They engage with it calmly, and calm engagements build long-term wealth. When you review your money monthly, you stop reacting to life and start directing it. Now, let's bring this all together, because a budget that works in 2026 isn't about restriction, it's about alignment. Let's look at a full real life example, because theory is helpful, but execution builds confidence. Our example is a $4,000 take home income. Not extreme, not unrealistic, just a solid middle example. Now, watch how this flows when structured intentionally. Category 1: needs, $2,400. That's housing, utilities, insurance, groceries, transportation. That's about 60%. In 2026, for many households, that's realistic. And remember, we adjust to reality. We don't deny it. Category 2: savings and investing, $600. That's 15%. This includes emergency fund, retirement, long-term investing. This is wealth building money. This is future freedom money. It leaves your account automatically before lifestyle expands. Category 3: wants. This is about $700. This includes dining out, entertainment, subscriptions, travel savings. Notice something? We didn't eliminate joy. We fund it intentionally. Because sustainable budgets allow enjoyment. Restriction creates rebellion. Category 4: sinking funds, about $300. This includes car maintenance, medical, holidays, annual renewals. This is the stabilizer. This is what prevents chaos. This is what keeps your budget from breaking every few months. Now look at that full picture. Nothing extreme, nothing obsessive, just intentional trade-offs. Here's what most people miss. Every dollar you assign deliberately is a dollar that stops controlling you. Intentional trade-offs build wealth. Unconscious trade-offs build stress. This example isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Maybe your savings is 10% right now. Maybe your needs are 65%. That's not failure. That is a starting point. And starting points compound. When your money is organized like this, decisions feel clearer. Stress feels lower. Progress feels measurable. And that's when budgeting stop feeling restrictive and start feeling empowering. Let's recap. Step 1, start with your why. Step 2, know your real income. Step 3, track spending like a detective. Step 4, choose a flexible framework. Structure, not handcuffs. Step 5, the missing piece, which is the sinking funds. Step 6, automate. Step 7, eliminate debt strategically. And step 8, the monthly CEO meeting. Before you go, here's a quick money fun fact. And most people underestimate this. If you invest $300 per month on an average 8% annual return for 30 years, that could grow to over $400,000. Not because you got lucky, not because you hit the lottery, because you were consistent. Small intentional decisions repeated monthly, compounding quietly. Most people think wealth is built in big moments. It's not. It's built in small systems, automated transfers, monthly reviews, intentional trade-offs, planning for the predictable. Those are not dramatic, but they are powerful. Financial stability isn't about making perfect decisions. It's about building systems that protect you from emotional ones. You don't need a higher income first. You need a stronger structure. And now you have one. If this video helped you see money differently, hit subscribe and share with somebody who needs clarity. Because financial confidence spreads, and when households are stable, communities are stronger. Control your structure and you control your future. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.